centers back in March, and Doctors Without Borders says the Department of Health needs to push for continued testing in the area.
It's encouraging that the National Guard and the Department of Health have conducted mass testing, but there's also a need to continue on-demand testing.
In the last week alone, Immokalee added 1,000 cases to the active list. Doctors at hospitals and small clinics want Immokalee workers to focus on washing their hands and wearing masks so they can stop the spread. And let's take a look at the global numbers. You can see that there are now almost 8 million confirmed cases. Out of those 7.9 million cases, more than 430,000 people have died. That brings the mortality rate to about 5%. Luckily, far more people have recovered from the disease. That number sits at around 3.7 million. The United States continues to lead with the most number of cases at nearly 2.1 million.
All right, we want to give you a live look at Fort Myers Beach from our Pink Shell Resort. You could see more cloud coverage is moving in. Temperatures right now are in the mid-70s. We saw plenty of rain over the weekend. I'll tell you what you can expect for today coming up.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. We're at Beef O'Brady's in Cape Coral, and it is Father's Day week. So we're going to show you some fun pairings of food and drink for your type of dad. Here in just a moment. You won't want to miss it. We're coming up after the break. You're watching Fox 4 Morning News.
Good morning, everybody. At 7:12, we are enjoying a beautiful sunrise here in North Fort Myers along the water. Looks great out there. It is going to be warm, but it is June in Southwest Florida, so we can expect that. What about rain chances? Well, you'd expect that to happen again. Lauren will tell you when you can expect that rain to come today and how much we'll see over the next couple of days when she gives her forecast in just a couple of minutes. All right, so Father's Day is Sunday, and if you haven't made plans, we have some ideas for you. Beef O'Brady's in Cape Coral is offering free meals for dads this Sunday, and Nolani is joining us live from the location in Cape Coral with the details. Hey, Nolani.
Good morning, Chris. Good morning, everyone. I am at Beef O'Brady's, that's correct, and I have Warren here with me. He's the owner, and we have something
Look what I have.
Yeah, we have something pretty special to show you. So the theme behind this is actually we're showing you how to pair the right food with the right drink for the certain kind of dad. So what exactly is this? Kind of explain to me what we've got here.
Well, this is a cowboy cut bone-in ribeye. So as you can see, it's got the bone in it. We put it on a char grill and made those, cooked it beautifully medium rare. And the good beer that I like to go with that is a Guinness. It's a stout beer.
Yum. Okay.
But you can also have a lager. Here you go.
There we go.
And my daughter Rachel here helping me.
Yes.
So,
hey, Rachel. What kind of dad would you say would order this? I'm curious. I feel like you know your type of customers too, so.
Well, I mean, this isn't a session beer, and what I mean by that, a session beer is a beer that you drink out in the sun and all that. This is more of a, as you can see, the foam. This is a nitro beer instead of a carbonated beer, and that's why it does that. It has a dark, rich flavor. It's got chocolate, it's a coffee flavor, and it's actually best served at about 55 degrees, which if you're a hardcore cold beer kind of person or dad, you're not going to like drinking it a little bit warmer, but actually the flavors release. It's sort of like when you eat chili and you let it simmer for a while, all of the spices release the flavors
so you have to really
so you can taste it.
that.
Same thing with a dark beer.
Gotcha.
So it has to be something that you try out and acquire. It's definitely a sipping beer. Mm-hmm. You don't want to, drink it fast, and that's why it's great with a steak, because you don't want to eat a steak fast. You want to, especially this size steak.
Yeah.
You want to take your time and eat it and enjoy it. But it pairs really well with that.
Perfect, perfect. And we're going to show you some different pairings throughout the show as well. They're going to be doing free meals on Father's Day, so you won't want to miss it. We're coming up next in the next half hour. Toss it back to you guys, though, for now.
All right, Nolani, thank you very much. Lauren, I don't know about your dad, but for me, I'm not fancy enough to pair my drink with my meal.
Oh, no, Greg, he's very simple. Just give him a Bud Light,
right?
And he's good to go.
Sounds good. I mean, I'll take the steak and the potato, yeah, and just give me a Bud Light and I'll be good to go.
But plus, you don't want that dark beer because then you're going to be full. You're not going to enjoy your steak.
Yeah, and I don't like the warm beer either. But I am curious to see what other combinations they have, because maybe I'll try something like that.
Yeah, it looks amazing. And if you're like Chris or my dad, a light Bud Light might be kind of nice just to cool you down. Yeah, because we're starting off pretty warm and it's only going to get hotter from here. Temperatures at the moment already 72 in LaBelle, 74 in Fort Myers, 76 in Cape Coral. And Doppler radar is looking nice and clear across all of Southwest Florida. We do have a bit of this green moving across the Cape Coral area, a little bit of Fort Myers. A lot of this is so light, it's really not even going to reach the ground. I know a lot of us have been complaining. We had a lot of rain over the weekend, some areas seeing up to 4 inches of rain, but it has really helped us. Our drought monitor is looking excellent right now. We can't say the same for everyone across the United States. You could see parts of Texas, New Mexico, Colorado, even as far west as California, dealing with anywhere between abnormally dry to extreme drought conditions. So we've been seeing a lot of rain, and that's really helped us, especially after we had so many brush fires in Collier County just a few weeks ago. Right now, we are about almost 3 inches above normal for this time of the year. June, we usually see a little more than 5 inches of rain, and we are going to see a little bit more rain today, but not like we did yesterday. So by lunchtime, a shower or two, not completely out of the question, and then that afternoon and evening hour is when we're going to see those storms really ramp up. It will dissipate later on this evening. Tuesday, though, going to be a beautiful day. Starting off the morning, not much in the way of your sunshine when it comes to the cloud coverage for your morning commute. That stays consistent through the afternoon, the evening, and then, of course, through the evening into Wednesday morning, we have more clouds moving in, but we're going to start off pretty dry for that Wednesday morning commute. Things nice and quiet in the tropics right now. Infrared satellite not showing anything to watch, not just in the Atlantic, but as you move further west to the Gulf as well, which is nice to say considering we started off pretty busy. Already 3 named storms in the season. Dolly is the next one on the list. Not a bad day to get out on the boat. Your Ingman Marine boating forecast showing a slight shift in the winds today from the northeast by this evening out of the northwest, and a light chop on the inland waters. And like we said, going to be a hot one, not just today, but for the rest of the week. Today, highs close to 90 degrees, scattered storms and showers by the afternoon. Tuesday, we'll see more sunshine, which means a slight uptick in our highs. By the time we get to mid-work week, we will return to our typical rainy season pattern. Overnight lows will remain in the mid-70s.
All right, Lauren, thank you. Well, as people work to get back on their feet, we want to make sure we're highlighting people here in Southwest Florida who are persevering. So coming up, I'll bring you the story of one minority business owner who's finding a way to turn these stressful times into something sweet with our newest Southwest Florida Reinvented. Time right now is 7:19. You're watching Fox 4 Morning News.
Period.
You know, later this week, we'll get the newest unemployment numbers for Southwest Florida, but we know from last month the unemployment rate is about 15% for our area. And during the pandemic, we know small businesses, especially Black-owned businesses, are hurting the most. Part of what we want to do with the Rebound Southwest Florida is give you inspiration. So we continue our Southwest Florida Reinvented series with a look at how, even now, you can find something sweet. Just about every entrepreneur struggles with it in some way. For Monica Spivey, the hesitation to go out on a limb and start her own business had everything to do with providing for her family.
It's just me, as far as my income. I don't have anyone else to rely on.
So for years, the dream of having her own store was just a dream. But life has a funny way of getting you where you're supposed to be.
I never thought it would be a bakery because I never thought I would be a baker.
A decade ago, the woman who created this and this could only bake if a box was involved.
That was the limit of basically my baking, doing Betty Crocker and stuff.
Monica moved her children from New York to Southwest Florida in 2007. She worked overnight, so when the kids were in school, she had extra time.
I just started playing with learning how to bake a cake from scratch. And I was like, okay, the first cake, I brought it to work. Everyone liked it. And I was like, okay, I think I can actually do this.
She started baking for family and friends.
Banana pudding became like the biggest thing. Everyone wanted the banana pudding cake, which was like my signature cake.
And everyone told her to get past her shyness and hesitation, to just go for it and start her own business. In 2016, Monica created Tamu Cupcakery. Tamu, which means sweet in Swahili, is her middle name, and she took this seriously. She went through Goodwill's micro enterprise program to learn how to start a business. Then she set up at art walks and farmers markets.
We kind of were doing like a little interview thing, like, okay, what's so good about this cupcake? And to kind of move it from being a hobby into something that I'm actually going to do.
She started taking online orders and went from baking in her kitchen to renting out a commercial kitchen. Sales in 2020 started so well, she started planning her next step, opening an actual store. And then the pandemic happened. So Monica adjusted. She teamed up with 1-800-Flowers and did more marketing on Instagram and Yelp. And maybe it was the extra exposure or just word of mouth, but in March and April, sales kept growing.
I'm not sure where it's coming from, but it's just been coming, nonstop.
So Monica is going forward, looking for storefronts to rent so she can open a Tamu Cupcakery store as soon as this fall. The hesitation is still there, but she's learning from experience how to deal with it.
Every time I do something that, scares me, I'm like, you know what? It's scaring me because it's something big about to happen. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it anyway.
Yes, something big is about to happen. If you know about a Southwest Florida reinvented success story, tell me about it. You can send me a message on my Facebook page. Just look for Chris Shaw, Fox 4. As various forms of racial injustice and systemic oppression are highlighted following the latest cases of police brutality in our country, there's now a push across our state to rename cities and counties that have names of a painful past. So coming up, we'll tell you which areas now have a petition for name changes. 7:26 is the time. Here's a live look at downtown Fort Myers as we start our Monday morning off. You're watching Fox 4 Morning News.
Absolutely. Live from the station that's in your corner. You're watching Fox 4 Morning News.
Good morning, everybody. Turning 7:30 on the dot here, and look at this beautiful shot. This is from North Fort Myers. This is actually off of Old Bridge Road, and the water looks fantastic. A beautiful sky as we start our Monday morning off. It's nice that we're not dealing with any rain as we start our work week. At least not yet, Lauren.
Yeah, we do have rain on the way, but can we just talk about that shot a little
Very
more?
nice.
That was beautiful. I don't want to do the weather. Can we just stay on that?
Well, I guess we could go back to it.
I think people would rather hear about that and see that than listen to me talk about our rain chances after the weekend we had.
Yeah, no kidding. We had so much rain over the weekend. It's going to slow down, you say, though.
It is. We will return to our typical rainy season pattern by the mid to end of our work week. Unfortunately, I think it's time to switch over to what we really need to talk about. I got to talk about the temperatures to get you out of the door. Morning commute off to a good start. 74 currently in Fort Myers. Doppler radar is looking nice and dry. A few light showers moving across Cape Coral. So light, though, that they're barely even reaching the ground. So nothing for you to worry about. We do have a few showers to the East Coast. They will pick up the brunt of the rainfall. I'll tell you more about our rainfall coming up.
Well, this morning, a Florida man is petitioning his city council to change the name of the city of Plantation because of its negative meaning. The man's name is Daryl August. He says he loves the city where he went to high school and met his wife, but he hates its name. He started a petition on change.org to change it. And in just a few days, the petition has gotten more than 1,700 signatures, and it continues to go up. He said his inspiration for starting this movement was seeing Confederate symbols across the U.S. being taken down.
The word automatically takes people to slavery, just something that's kind of like a shameful part of our nation's history, of our nation's past, you know. And I just think that at the time of when this beautiful city was founded, it just wasn't in the books to really have more people of color and you know, diversity here.
Now, he says he has seen opposition from people who claim the city is actually named after the Everglades Plantation Company. However, he said it's 2020 and it's time to make this change. He wants the community to vote on a new name. Well, here in Southwest Florida, there's also a petition going around to rename Lee County. The petition asked for it to be changed to Colusa County in honor of the Colusa Indians, the first known people to live in the area. The petition now has more than 1,600 signatures. The person who started the petition says Lee County is named after Robert E. Lee, and if Confederate monuments across the South are being taken away, then counties that have their name should also be changed. As the nation's awareness of racial injustice grows, so has a trend to support Black-owned businesses. Many local restaurants and stores are reporting a recent surge in sales. But as Fox News correspondent Ashley Strohmeyer points out, others are still struggling to bounce back from the COVID-19 crisis.
After weeks of protests over George Floyd's death, many Black-owned businesses are reporting a boom in business. The co-founder of a soul food restaurant in Los Angeles says he has seen a recent spike of 50 to 60%.
Most of us normally sort of stay in our own community, our own corners, and I'm sure because it's safe, versus now there's an opportunity to kind of go out and explore.
Lists of Black-owned businesses have been widely shared across social media, part of a nationwide push to support the Black community and confront racial inequality in America. Food delivery apps such as Postmates and Uber Eats are also making it easier for users to order from Black-owned restaurants.
That's been the biggest part of it, just a number of orders from like all the delivery channels.
The surge in support has allowed many businesses to hire people from the community who have been out of work.
You should be very intentional about the businesses you support, and because those are also the people who support you and your community.
But the financial struggles of small businesses aren't completely gone. Many minority-owned companies are still feeling the economic impact of the coronavirus. According to UC Santa Cruz, about 40% of Black-owned businesses have permanently closed because of the pandemic, compared with only about 20% of white-owned businesses. That's because the majority of Black-owned businesses that applied for relief through the Personal Protection Program were shut out. Yet another example, experts say, of systemic racism in America.
Black businesses, they shouldn't be ignored when it comes to the relief.
This disturbing idea of disparity in funding isn't a new one. Data shows Black business owners have historically been denied loans more than any other racial group. Ashley Strohmeyer, Fox News.
Ashley, thank you. Well, this is hard to believe, but 3 months later, at least 42,000 cruise ship workers are still stuck at sea because of concern over the coronavirus. Most are not even getting paid right now and suffering from the virus themselves. Some countries have begun granting workers access back to their home docks, while others have been able to catch charter flights from those places. The CDC has prohibited cruises on U.S. water until the end of July. As more people start considering summer vacations, get this, pest control experts have a warning about hotels. Since tourism has slowed down, bed bugs are getting bolder. They usually hide in dark areas like corners, but with no one in the rooms, they're venturing out a little bit more. Pest control experts say to keep your luggage on hard surfaces when you go into your room and inspect the bed and drawers. If you find bed bugs, tell the hotel and ask to be moved to another room. Health experts are calling for more research on current COVID-19 tests that are being administered in our country. At the beginning of the pandemic, the FDA rushed to get testing approved, and that meant usual required studies were skipped. Now that some of the dust has settled, health experts are asking that testing accuracy be proved. Early findings have flagged potential problems with certain tests, including one used daily at the White House. In a statement, the FDA said it has already asked some of the 110 test makers for follow-up studies, but didn't say how many of them would actually do it. With the country shifting to mail-in voting because of the pandemic, blind voters are worried about their privacy. Many have raised concerns about trusting the person who fills out their ballot to do it correctly. Advocates for the blind have taken legal action in 3 different states. They want blind voters to have access to systems that overseas soldiers use. They get to vote electronically. That way, blind voters can use their own computers and assistive technology to read and fill out the ballots themselves. Beginning tomorrow, people who live in Punta Gorda will have more options to get tested for COVID-19. The Florida Department of Health in Charlotte County is giving out free drive-through and walk-up testing at the Cooper Street Recreation Center. That'll be Tuesday and Thursday. It'll start at 9 in the morning and go until noon. You can register online at coadfl.org. This site will replace the one that had been open at the Charlotte Sports Park. The nurse practitioners of Lee County are doing something to help Southwest Florida rebound. Over the weekend, they held their second food drive to benefit the Harry Chapin Food Bank. Community members dropped off non-perishable food outside of the Millennium Physician Office in Fort Myers.
We do our best to try to educate the community, to let them know that we are here to support them, in addition to what we do in our practices.
That's good to see. They already do so much, and now going one step further, they say all the food collected will go directly to families that need help. You know, here at Fox 4, we are committed to giving you resources that will help you and your family make it through this pandemic. If you need help putting food on the table, we want you to know that the Harry Chapin Food Bank is continuing their drive-through distributions this week. That means from today, from 10 to noon, they'll be at the Copperhead Golf Club in Lehigh Acres, and they'll also be at the Human Service of Charlotte County in Port Charlotte. You just have to drive up and pop your trunk. That's when volunteers will fill it with fresh produce and other food. Today, Charlotte County playgrounds and the McGuire Park splash pad will be open for the first time in months. All of the playgrounds will be open from 6 in the morning until 9 at night. People are strongly encouraged to practice social distancing at the parks, to wash their hands often, and to wear a mask. Well, the Clinic for the Rehabilitation of Wildlife, also known as CROW, will reopen at 10 this morning. CROW says they have new safety measures in place to protect visitors, staff, and the animal ambassadors, of course. You are asked to wear a mask if you go, and you should know that the children's exhibits have been modified to allow for social distancing and to allow for more cleaning and sanitizing. Also starting today, the Lee County Library will reopen 3 of its branches. These are the ones at the Lakes Regional, Bonita Springs, and North Fort Myers. All 8 locations that are open right now will be operating at 50% capacity, and you should know curbside pickup will continue as well. The Lee County Library also wants to invite everyone to listen to their Imagine Your Story summer reading program. It's designed to spark curiosity and encourage a lifelong love of reading. The program goes every day through August 1st. For more information, go to that website you see on your screen. All right, like schools across the country, we know seniors at a New Hampshire school were faced with the reality of not having a graduation ceremony. But that changed when a local ski resort let them have their procession on a chairlift. This is pretty cool. 170 seniors graduated Saturday, and they were allowed to have 4 guests join them for that 10-minute ride on the chairlift to the summit, where they got their diploma and their pictures taken.
It was awesome. We got to see people coming up and down, and so it was a really great experience getting to, even though we're not next to each other, getting to see our friends was really cool.
While the ceremony was a private event, the school did broadcast it online so friends and family could be there in spirit.
Way cooler than an average graduation. Just want to throw that out there.
Sitting in a gym, yeah. So many reasons why this year will be memorable for the seniors graduating from high school. Not all of them good, most of them not good, but every once in a while we see a cool story like that.
Yeah, we always find something special to celebrate.
Yeah.
Speaking of something special to celebrate, well, see less rain today
than
we
celebrating.
saw over the weekend. Kind of nice to see that. Right now, mostly sunny outside. We will see an increase in cloud coverage by this afternoon, and that's due to some scattered storms and showers moving into the area. But like I said, they won't pack quite as big of a punch as we saw over the weekend. I'll explain more coming up.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. We are pairing drinks with food for Father's Day. Here you go, coming right up. We are at Beef O'Brady's here in Cape Coral, showing you some fun for Father's Day. They're doing free meals here. We'll give you all the fun, delicious details after the break. You're watching Fox 4 Morning News.
Good morning, everybody. 7:44 is the time right now, and we are looking live out at the Naples Pier. A little cloudy there. Still looks beautiful, though, and I bet it's nice out there to start the day. It is going to be a warm one in Southwest Florida. Lauren will tell you all about what you can expect for today and the rest of the week in just a couple of minutes. Well, this weekend we will celebrate dads across Southwest Florida, and Beef O'Brady's wants you to know that they are honoring them with some free meals as well. This morning, Nolani is at the location in Cape Coral to tell us about some fun pairings for every type of dad. Nolani, here's the pairing I want from my kids on Father's Day, the pairing of no fighting and no complaining. Can you help me out with that?
That is hilarious. We'll see what we can do about that, but for now, do you like fishing? Because this one is more for the fishing dad. Warren, we'll try and work on that one. He said he wants a pairing of no arguing, and we'll have to see about that one. But next up is we have some surf and turf.
Surf and turf?
And we are getting
steak and shrimp?
Yeah, we're getting it delivered by none other than his daughter.
This is Rachel, my daughter. Hey, what's better than Father's Day than having your daughter deliver steak and shrimp? We got grilled zucchini on there. Delicious. And then this is our land shark lager. It is, it's got a lemon citrus feel to it. A little bit of honey. It's great. It goes great with seafood.
Yeah. So for the fishing dad, a little surf and turf, a little land shark. I think it kind of fits the mood. And also, we wanted to mention that Sunday, which is Father's Day for you guys who haven't planned anything, make sure you plan it and you mark it on your schedule. But you guys are doing actually something pretty nice for the dads on Sunday.
Yes, we're doing Dads Eat Free, so come in and you get buy one, get one free kind of thing. And awesome. Yeah, it's a good time to celebrate. Everybody's been kind of cooped up, and this will give everybody a chance to go out and have a good time and get a surf and turf. Everybody's not going to have their daughter be able to deliver it for them, but hey, that's just me. I'm just lucky.
Yeah, don't give my dad any ideas, okay? But no, that looks delicious. We'll have much more coming up in the 8 o'clock show. We're going to have a, what burger?
OMG. Oh my God, look at that.
So, yes, we'll have much more for the different types of dads and different type of drink pairings with that coming up in the 8 o'clock show. I'll go ahead and toss it back to you guys, though. Chris, we're going to work on that pairing. We'll let you know.
I've been working on that pairing for about 9 years now, almost 10 years, and I don't think it's going to happen.
Chris, your children are angels, like fallen from heaven angels. I don't know what you're talking about.
They are wonderful. I love them with all of my heart. I wouldn't trade them for anything in this world, but there is a little bit of fighting and a little bit of complaining.
Are they watching right now? Is that why you're being so complimentary?
They may be watching. They're awake. I don't know.
Olivia and Grant, I got your back. Don't worry.
I'll see if my phone starts if I get some text messages on my phone.
You'll have to let us know. Let's get a check of that forecast real quick while Chris goes and checks his phone. Right now, off to a pretty warm start, 74 in Fort Myers. The same in Bonita Springs and 76 in Cape Coral. Things are looking nice and dry right now, which is nice to say after we saw all of that rain over the weekend. You could see all the way from Marco Island to Port Charlotte, things are looking great. We have some of that green moving across Cape Coral. Now, this is a very light shower. Some of it's so light, it's not even reaching the ground, so you don't have to worry about that for your morning commute. As we get closer to the afternoon, things will heat up to the upper 80s, and we do have a chance for storms and showers. We won't get near that high, the average high of 92 degrees, though. Those showers will keep us on the cooler side, and we've seen quite a lot of rain. Right now, we're almost 3 inches above average for this time of the year. Usually in June, by this time of the year, we see about 5 inches, maybe a little more, so we're off to a good start, especially considering we had such dry conditions going into the year. Now today we do have a little bit of rain on the way, nothing like we saw over the weekend. I can't reiterate that enough. So by lunchtime, a shower or two, not completely out of the question. By later on this afternoon and evening, that's when you'll start to see those storms and showers really ramp up. Things will quiet down later on this evening, and then Tuesday is going to be beautiful. You could see not much in the way of your sunshine, especially when it comes to cloud coverage. Right now you can see that's not true just for the morning, but also for the afternoon and later on in the evening. And then Wednesday, we start off your morning commute with dry conditions as well. And things are nice and quiet in the tropics right now, just not in the Atlantic, but as you move west to the Gulf as well. And that should continue as we move through the week. And that's due to some Saharan dust that is moving off of the coast of North Africa across the Atlantic and going to reach us here eventually in the next couple of days. So what does that mean for us? You could experience maybe an itchy nose, watery eyes, vibrant sunsets and sunrises depending on where you are in the state. But the good news is it suppresses tropical activity. So that's really nice to hear. We've already had a busy start to the 2020 Atlantic hurricane season. Not a bad day to enjoy the beach. Watch out for that shift in the wind coming out of the northeast right now, shifting to the northwest by this evening, maybe even the afternoon. Taking a look, going to be a warm one the entire week. Temperatures today going to reach a high close to 90 degrees. Watch out for scattered storms and showers if you do head outside. Tomorrow going to see more sunshine, highs closer to 91 degrees.